is Let's Talk with Kay, and today is November the 6th, 2024, and it's the day after election, or should I say it's the evening after the election or whatever. Before I jump into that, welcome everybody to my channel. Welcome new subscribers, or just if you haven't subscribed but just, kind of been watching or whatever. I appreciate that you will subscribe to the channel. And after you watch the content, like, share, comment, so on and so forth. But anyways, it's the day after the election, but I'm going to mention that I don't think nobody really talked about this, but I'm going to mention it, at least in my YouTube algorithms, is that I been hella sleepy. I've been hella tired because of the daylight savings time. I call it the time change or whatever. I'm not sure if it's that or it's the weather finally is cooling off here. And but I would say also, besides being tired or sluggish, I haven't really gotten great sleep yesterday. If you hear my child in the background screaming, hollering, playing the game with her friend, please just, ignore that. I apologize in advance. It's addressed the election. Well, obviously by this time you know that Trump won the election. I was kind of hopeful, but then at the same time, I felt that he was going to win. And it's like when I always had a little feeling or whatever, it seemed like it's right. I knew that Biden was going to win the last time. And I had a feeling that Trump was going to win the election against Hillary at that time. But I will state a claimer that I did vote. I was kind of hopeful, but then at the same time, I felt that he was going to win. And it's like when I always had a little feeling or whatever, it seemed like it's right. Okay, I'm back. I just had to tell my daughter to be quiet and to close my door because it felt like it was just getting louder and louder, and I don't want it to be distracting to me and to who's listening. But anyways, it was just nothing but chaos and confusion during that time, and I felt spiritually that chaos and confusion energetically came into my home, because when I think about it, things happen, but it didn't happen per Donald Trump's orders, if you know what I mean. He didn't just say, police, do this, people, do this. He didn't say none of that stuff. He didn't write it into the law. It's people, I guess, overall felt the energy. The energy was there. And people who ate their energy up, it felt chaotic. It felt really chaotic. But, so I tell myself, I'm the president of my home. I'm the president of my home. And honestly, I think as president of my home, I did a damn good job. Through all the chaos and all that stuff, my lights stayed on. I didn't have to suffer. Did I have little setbacks? I did, but they weren't like, yes, I'm making a video. Bye. I was interrupted by my daughter. But anyways, I felt like I was a damn good president in my home. I was able to, I would say even before President Trump became president, I would say I was a great president. But I'm gonna speak in the past few years. I ain't worried about my lights turning off. I didn't worry about having no food, no shelter, anything. To me, I feel like since 2016, it's been chaotic, Now it's 2024. We're heading into 2025, you know. And honestly, I feel like America is a shit show right now, to be honest. And think about it. I mean, the current president, basically was forced to not run. In my opinion, I think it was a good decision, but in a way it was a bad decision. And to me, that's part of chaos. Waiting at the last minute to decide whether you're going to run for president or not run for president. I felt that it should have been done in the correct order of things, the way things should have been. And it wasn't. To me, that was chaotic. And also, what else? Trump's presidency, I don't need to really explain that. It was chaotic. I would say, especially during the pandemic, 1 minute it was nothing was coming to us. The next minute something was coming. The next minute nobody should stop business as usual, keep running things the way you should. Then the next minute, hey, you need to be more mindful of how you live your life to not catch COVID. And then mind you, millions of people died, during COVID. And then when the vaccines, I guess, came out, 1 minute he was saying that, oh, you shouldn't get the vaccine and da. And then the next moment it was like, I got the vaccine. That's chaos and confusion, guys. Chaos and confusion, And I mean, chaos and confusion been happening no matter who the president is. But the point I'm going to make is I'm taking personal responsibility, and I advise anybody else to take personal responsibility. You may say, what do you mean? I mean, at the end of the day, we are all responsible for our individual lives. We are each responsible. You can decide, if you feel like you're being oppressed, you can move to a different state that's less oppressive or not oppressive. And I will say that I used to live in Texas. And Texas is, to me and a lot of other people, and not just a black person, because I spoke to people of color that said that, Texas is racist. Even white people agreed with me. So it's just not my opinion. But to me, it seemed like it's gotten more oppressive looking, I guess, from the outside in. And I'm like, why stay there? Especially as black people. I'm like, why stay there? I hear people saying, oh, it's not that easy. Oh, I have family that's here. And a lot of times, the family you're talking about, you not fucking with them, they not fucking with you. They're not paying your bills. They're not ensuring whether you live a comfortable life or not. You are responsible. And when I think about it, the world, the country is a lot smaller than what it used to be in the early 1900s. I would say all the way till maybe the 1980s or almost the 1990s. The world is a lot smaller. You can easily call people. Everybody, even a homeless person, not to be funny, has a cell phone. You can easily reach out to people. You can easily get a flight. You can easily, drive, whatever, compared. I'm going to just say this, compared. Because some people are probably like, well, you are talking bad against people that's living impoverished and this and that. I'm not saying that. I'm going to just clarify. Compared to the 1920s, 40s, 60s, 80s, things are a lot more easier than what they used to be before. A lot more easier. And what I think about, especially when it comes to black people, our relatives, our ancestors, And during those times, which was way more oppressive than what it is now, a lot more oppressive than what it is now. They used the little resources that they had at the time. And a lot of them probably, they didn't have a lot of resources compared to the main society, if you know what I'm saying. Because they didn't have a lot of rights to work wherever they wanted to work, live wherever they wanted to live, reap the benefits that a lot of other people did during that time. So they used those little bitty resources that existed during that time to make change. People forget there was a such thing as a great migration from the South to the North. People in the South got hell a lot of relatives that live in Chicago, because they decided, hell, I'm not going to live in this oppressive environment. This is oppressive. I want to experience the little freedom that exists outside of, Jim Crow or whatever, during that time, and go somewhere a little bit more freedom. Did I say things were perfect? No, it wasn't a utopia in the North. They still experienced racism. But did they have to worry about people knocking on their door and worried about somebody taking their child out the home, their husband, their dad out the home, their mom, their sister, whoever, out the home to be unalived due to looking at them too long because they, quote unquote, disrespected a white person? That's extreme oppression. And so they moved away from that. And now I look at it today, and I would say a lot of black people who live like in Alabama, I would even say Texas, Mississippi, some parts of Tennessee, and probably other places in the South. But I mentioned those places because they were like the OGs of Jim Crow. Texas, Alabama, Mississippi, maybe Louisiana. I mean, they like the OGs. They like the daddies of Jim Crow. And the remnants of that is still here today in politics and economics, jobs, and all that. And it's still black people that still live there in that oppressiveness. And not trying to sound offensive, but I'm going to say what I have to say. They worried about Jesus coming back to save them. And I'm like, dude, Jesus could have came during slave days, and he didn't come. Jesus could have came during that time, the Jim Crow times, and he didn't come. Now things are not perfect, but they're not as bad as they used to be. And y'all still saying that. It's like, I'm assuming that Jesus, if he existed, would be like, well, it's not that bad now based on his non-action in the past. It's not that bad. I ain't coming this time around. They good. But I'm just saying, my point is, instead of waiting for Jesus to come, make decisions yourself. I know family has family members everywhere around this country. Some people have families outside the country. I'm going to put it this way. I'm going to say one thing. If shit really, really hit the fan, and you had places like New Mexico, probably New York, more progressive states, for example, people who live in those oppressive states will be reaching for their phone, calling a cousin, calling an auntie, uncle, or whoever. Hey, can me and my family stay with you for a few days, a week, a month, or whatever, until this thing quiet down. And if it don't quiet down, you eventually probably set up shop wherever you live at now. But my point is, why wait till shit hits the fan? You can make choices right now. And I know during the election, a big thing with women um, was the abortion ban. And to me, I believe it's much more bigger than abortion ban. It's women's rights overall. Me personally, I really don't fuck with any man. I'm not gay or anything like that. I just look at how men are running things, and I'm like, I'm good. I'm not interested in marriage. I'm not even interested in really dating. Even when I think about dating, I'm kind of like, I'm good. I'm good. I'm just looking at the femicide rates in the black community. I'm looking at how men, it's like, to me, I picture it as a cartoon that I'm just sitting here calmly, and the men who's running patriarchy is running amok, burning things down, just like they just lost their minds. I'm like, women, why do you even want to fuck with them? That's how I am. That's my personal opinion, and I'm sticking with it. And ever since my divorce, and ever since I stopped fucking with men and just live my life peaceful, and I've been more peaceful and happy, you know. And that's no cap. I've been living good. My mind's been clearer and everything, and I've been abstinent for a while. So that's like my little personal business. But I would say with the abortion ban, I'm like, hell, people say, well, it's easier than said and done. I'm like, dude, it should be easy, period. It should be easy, period. And if you're a spiritualist and still saying you want to fuck with dudes, I'm like, that's just my opinion. I'm like, girl. And I can go into that even farther about dating and what I feel about it. I feel like if more women decided to just be like, fuck it, I'm gonna live by myself with my cats, as they always say, which honestly, I enjoy my cats. So I'm like, dang, don't, what they say, don't threaten me with a good time. To be honest, don't threaten me with a good time. I mean, but anyways, I'm like, the abortion ban would be a non-motherfucking factor. When I think about it, back in the 1920s, the 30s, 40s, up until the 70s, women didn't have any rights. Women did not have any rights. We didn't have a right to bank accounts. We didn't have a right to, buy a house. We didn't have a right to get a credit card without our husband's permission. So basically, it was like, in a sense, being forced into a marriage in order to survive. So men were taking advantage of us left and right. So during that time, I can see the reason for having an abortion, because it was it was like a survival mechanism in a sense. And I believe TV, movies, and all that kind of romanticized it. It's like, okay, we're going to put some makeup on a pig and help y'all deal with this oppression and make it a little bit more palatable for women. You had all these romantic movies, you had all this romantic music and all this type of stuff. It just makes things a little bit more palatable especially for women to be in these marriages and things like that. But now, I'm a spiritualist. I'm going to mention this. We are living in the age of Aquarius. Aquarius is moving in. It's moving in. It's basically getting ready to settle into this world, And people say, what's that? You can look in your environment. Women are taking their power back slowly but surely. And I know South Korea has the 4B movement, and they like, we're not fucking with men. We're not even dating you. We're not going to marry you. We're not going to have any kids with you. We just, hey, we good. And it goes deeper than that, It goes way deeper than that. But that's the gist of it. And they like the greatest example. They see firsthand on how their lives are. They don't have rights like you would think they have, because the men are getting away with everything you can imagine a man can get away with. And I'm like, dude, I was kind of on that before I even knew about a term. And I'm not trying to get into the feminist whatever talk that people normally say about it just to make it seem like it's not a big deal. But women are taking their power back, slowly but surely. The birth rates are going down. This is like Mother Nature is saying, hey, I don't like the shit that's going on planet Earth. I don't like the wars that are going on. I don't like the killing of innocent people. Nothing like that. This planet is on topsy-turvy. And you don't think the powers that be know that? Oh, honey, they do know that. They absolutely know that. They throwing everything at the wall to see what sticks. Desperate. And that's how I look at it. And during this time of Trump's presidency, honestly, I have hope that things gonna get better. Will it be tough? Of course it will be tough. In a time of change, especially when certain people don't want change to happen, it's gonna get a little shaky. But as the president of your home, you have to make certain decisions, because at the end of the day, government is not going to save you. And I will say do it now. Use every resource that's out there that's available now to stock up your homes, whatever, because you don't know what the future may hold. But do I think it's going to be some, how should I put it? Do I think it's going to be something like it was in the 1920s and it's going to forever be that way the next 2,000 years or so? Nope. Honestly, like people say, even in religious communities, this is a spiritual war. Do I think they completely or halfway understand that? No, I don't. This is spiritual warfare. This spiritual warfare, I would say, it's been going on for, I would say, about 2,000 or more years. It's been going on for a hell of a long time, you know. And like I used to be in the military. Peacetime, we trained, we practiced, we still prepare for things, but not at an extent that you would think it will happen during a war or right before one. You know, it's that time. They didn't in the military. We didn't kick back and relax and just be like, it is what it is. You know, we still had to train, keep our skills up, and all that stuff. In in the military. And I would say that's kind of what was going on for the past 2,000 years. Religion was indoctrinated in us. No matter what religion, it was indoctrinated. And the real history was kind of torn apart, lied about, and things of that nature. Whether it's religious history, whether it's economic history, whether it's talking about enslavement, because slavery been going on for a while, way before the slavery here in America. And this been a spiritual warfare, basically brainwashing people, regular citizens, to believe things are what they are, get us all settled in. And then next thing you know, this is just my humble opinion, just my not my intuition is telling me. And then I would say 1900s and later, they knew, because don't think the people, these politicians and stuff, are religious. They are not. Put it that way. They are not. They go to astrologers. They go to spiritualists. They go to psychics. They go to mediums. They look into numerology. And fun fact, the numerology and astrology basically foretold the Donald Trump's presidency. If you go, astrology is not just I'm a Capricorn. It's way deeper than that. Way deeper than that. It was in the stars. Get it? In the stars that he was going to be president. You know, it was in his favor. I don't know what that's going to be all about. I don't know. But like I believe, just like religion say, there is a such thing as divine timing. It's divine timing of things. And right now we heading into that. And honestly, my daughter looked at me like I was crazy. Like, Mama, why are you not fearful? You is hella strong. I'm like, I'm not fearful. I'm not fearful of death because not in my opinion, this is true. We don't die. We do not die. The only way we die is we basically say, hey, we don't believe in a creator. We don't believe in this. We're going to, in a sense, quote unquote, sell out. We lost our God consciousness. Because at the end of the day, I would say when we transition, we still are alive. We still going to be able to observe what's going on Earth. We will decide whether we're going to, or whether the creator, I don't know exactly how that works, decide whether we're going to come back on Earth to do some type of work to better the planet, or hey, our job was done. We're going to, stay. We're not going to be on this earthly realm no more. That's my belief. People don't have to believe, but look at the world right now. Look at the world. And when you think about it, even I've seen this a couple of times, whether it's, hearing, not see it, but listening to a podcast, hearing it, seeing it, whatever. As soon as that atheist is on that deathbed, they scared because at the end of the day, they wondering what's beyond them. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, people, whether they want to believe it or not believe, there's a higher power. And the higher power is not the religions. I'm just saying that. And it's funny. I was just thinking about this. I've been thinking about this a lot. My mom, became religious when I was probably 10, 11. I think I was old. I think I was like 5th grade. So that's probably like 10, 11 years old. And at the time, I was very, very like an old soul. I guess the Capricorn, I started out as a very serious kid, very serious. But my mom became religious and it just didn't make any sense to me at all. I'm like, why we can't do this? If this is if God said this, it was confusion. And to me, the Bible, if you really read all the books and look at it from, instead of being within the forest, look at it outside, and looking outside at the forest, it's like confusion and chaos to me. It didn't add up. And my mom always told me in a religious sense, oh, you're going to be a missionary. And I was like, back in my mind, hell to the no. You can tell me what I'm going to do. I was offended. I'm like, how you going to tell me what I'm going to be? I'm the determiner of my own future. But in a sense, now I'm like, maybe she was right. But not in this context. Not in this context. Absolutely not. So I guess I am the missionary, but a missionary for spirituality to help people wake up and help people to think. And the way I look at it, more people are waking up. People don't want to believe it or not. When you really see things, talking about astrology and all this type of stuff was very, very taboo. You can be a Christian or front as a Christian, but then the next week you probably going to see some type of psychic or whatever. And then another thing, like I was mentioning about preparing for a war or whatever, this is the long game. They've been playing the long game. This is like a 2,000 some year preparation, you know. And I remember as a kid when we had the movies and stuff, and I kind of see it now in commercials and things. If you pay attention, it's kind of like making fun of or mocking psychics, mediums, numerology. I'm not numerologers. I don't know. It's like they mocking them in commercials and things, like trying to make fun of them because they know that this. But the funny thing is, they mocking them to make normal people not take them seriously. But these folks take these folks seriously. I knew years ago, probably over a decade ago, I'm not sure if I was watching some type of documentary or whatever, that if police cannot figure out a crime, they will consult a psychic. And lo and behold, they will solve their crime. Politicians, they will act as if they're Christians or whatever, but they are consulting with astrologists. And I'm like, if they doing it and run the world, why are you not doing it to make decisions in your life, to make proper decisions? And but anyways, they've been preparing. And they throwing everything at the wall, all the different agendas, in recent years, throwing it at the wall, all the type of TV shows. And we live in exposure. Like, come on, people. Things are being exposed about certain people. And it's getting to the point, Hollywood is losing money. They're not, when you really think about it, they're only making remakes because they at least know back in history, the remakes of different movies made money. They're not risking it all to make a movie that's brand new, that's based on a concept that they haven't put out before, in a sense. I was like, wow, all these remakes. They're making so many remakes that I just became uninterested in watching movies. And recently, I really don't watch TV. I will say, I have a whole year, this year, I probably watch TV 5% or less of the time. I normally go on YouTube to watch some certain content. I do my job, do my work for my business. I do my hobbies and keep it pushing. And then when I do watch TV, I watch like HGTV. I watch like some reality TV, like 600 Pound Life. Stuff like, hey, is these people going to get better or not? That type of thing. But I don't really watch sitcoms and stuff. Every now and then I'll probably watch some paranormal. But anyways, they've been preparing and keeping us sleep. And you can look at from the cartoons, from, it's like right now, these past 10, 20 years, they've been throwing everything. I would say since 2000, throwing everything. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see what stick. They doing everything in their power spiritually and also on the physical, like, basically. And then now it's fear, 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 fear. Because once I would think the first motive of fear was religion, throwing hell in there. Just throw hell. People scared to die. Am I perfect? And people know you're not going to be perfect. We are human. No matter how much you try, you're not going to be perfect. Everybody got a yin and a yang that we got to, I guess, that shadow side and that other side that's more spiritual, more high vibrational, high frequency, that we gotta overcome that shadow, that low vibration, and become more high vibrational, high vibrational, become more high, and have a higher frequency. And once you realize that you don't have no fear of dying, you don't. maybe you'll miss your kids, maybe you this. But as far as fear, it's like, dude, I lived in a sense, I lived a long, meaningful life. That's how I hope I, lived a long, fulfilling life, and and I'll be at peace when I transition. That's how I feel. But don't you realize a lot of religious people, they know down in their heart, I was too, when I was really religious, or believed that there's a God, but I don't know what. But then I'm kind of was like, is there a hell? I wasn't sure. I'm like, is there a hell? No, it wasn't. And all that. I was confused. And until I was fearful. And do you think psychologically living in fear and stuff is going to help you make right choices, right decisions? No. It might end up making you make decisions that not only going to hurt you personally, but going to hurt other people, in the short run, long run, because of fear. So I don't live fearfully. People say, Cap, I don't have no fear at all. I don't. But I would say that I do want to live a peaceful, harmonious life. I do want that. I'm not saying I'm good because, I'm good because I don't have no fear. I'm like, them people on their own, if them. I feel like people as a collective should start living more high vibrational, have a higher frequency. I do believe in all that. And I do believe that once your mindset changes, more things in your life gonna get better. And I'm saying that you're not gonna experience challenges. You're gonna still experience challenges. But because you're still on this earth. But I would say I'm living in America. I'm talking based on an American. Because I know there are other countries on this planet that's living hella hard. And I'm sending peace and love to those families and things of that nature. If a lot of us, or there was none of us really living in high frequency, which is love, then, fear will basically take over. The low vibrational type of stuff will take over. And nothing really can. The light is going to be very, very hard to shine throughout this planet. And I believe Mother Earth, even before I became super duper spiritual, I even said Mother Earth is getting tired. I was watching clips of freaking bears running into the ocean like, man, sharks are like, hey, I'm tired of y'all, MFers. Let me go onto the shores and bite y'all asses. I'm saying in a jokingly manner, but at the end of the day, Earth, Mother Nature is Mother Nature. Mother Nature, if you can see the hurricanes, and it's been predicted in the Bible. The Bible got some truths in it that's been stolen from past history that basically predicted some of the stuff that's going to happen. It says it. It's going to be earthquakes, plagues. Guess what? It's happening. And Mother Earth is tired, whether that stuff is being man-made, because believe me, it's been proven that some of these weather events are man-made. People want to believe it or not. I seen it on the news. I was like, what? I didn't know it was a conspiracy, quote unquote conspiracy. I seen it on the news and like, shut the front door, that they were able to control the weather. But do you think they're only controlling it for good? Think about that. I'm good because I don't have no fear. And then I'm like, don't people on their own, if them. I feel like people as a collective should start living more high vibrational, have a higher frequency. I do believe in all that. And I do believe that once your mindset changes, you become you become, I'm not either very less, you become either don't have no fear, or you getting up there, to become that. More things in your life gonna get better. And I'm saying that you're not gonna experience challenges. You're gonna still experience challenges, but because you're still on this earth. But I would say I'm living in America. I'm talking based on an American, because I know there are other countries on this planet that's living hella hard. And I'm sending peace and love to those families and things of that nature. I'm part of the collective that are spiritualists, that are sending, light and vibration, meditating, and try to higher the frequency of this planet. Because if a lot of us, if a lot of us, or there was none of us really living in high frequency, which is love, then, fear will basically take over. The low vibrational type of stuff will take over, and nothing really can. The light is going to be very, very hard to shine throughout this planet. And I believe Mother Earth, even before I became super duper spiritual, I even said Mother Earth is getting tired. I was watching clips of freaking bears running into the ocean like, man, sharks are like, hey, I'm tired of y'all, MFers. Let me go onto the shores and bite y'all asses. I'm saying in a jokingly manner, but at the end of the day, Earth, Mother Nature is Mother Nature. Mother Nature, if you can see the hurricanes, and it's been predicted in the Bible. The Bible got some truths in it that's been stolen from past history that basically predicted some of the stuff that's going to happen. It says it. It's going to be earthquakes, plagues. Guess what? It's happening. And Mother Earth is tired, whether that stuff is being man-made, because believe me, it's been proven that some of these weather events are man-made. People want to believe it or not. I seen it on the news. I was like, what? I didn't know it was a conspiracy, quote unquote conspiracy. I seen it on the news and like, shut the front door, that they were able to control the weather. But do you think they're only controlling it for good? Think about that. This is spiritual. It's between basically good and evil. It's between the people that want the upside down to continue to happen, and Mother Earth that want the planet to become back in its rightful place. So that's happening. And then when I think of spirituality, I want to mention this. It's scientifically proven. Don't mind you, I'm an educated person. I went to college. I went to one of the best colleges in my state. And then later on, I got my master's degree. I do believe that God was leading me, even when I felt at the time was a dumbass decision, that like, why did I do this? Why did I decide to try to become this? But it exposed me to science. My decision exposed as a major or whatever. It's like God wanted me to like, okay, you're going to become what you're going to become, but let's detour a little bit. I want you to learn some science. I want you to get tidbits. And this is a true story. Excuse me if I'm making this too long, but this is a true story. I was sitting down in a college level physics class, and it's like I guess my ADHD portion was kind of like La La Land, kind of like Dream World or whatever. But soon as he said something, it's like my mind just like focused. And ever since then, I've been thinking about that, what that professor said. Like, it was like 2002, 2001, that I've been thinking about this. And I'm trying to think exactly, what did he say? See, I can't even think of it right now. I'm like, it's not. I'm like, it was either. Oh, I remember. Energy never dies. And I was like, energy never dies. Energy is transmuted, transferred, so on and so forth. A professor of physics, mind you. He probably, I don't know his religion, but he'd probably be the least religious person, that I can know. Probably not even religious at all, in the scientific world. But when he said that, my mind just clicked and I automatically thought of religion. And I'm like, if energy never dies, so basically it don't align with what religion is saying, because they making it sound like the energy never dies. So basically in religion you go to heaven. So in a sense, that energy of that person don't exist no more. It's gone. And then when I think, and I just thought about this too, as I say this out loud, which may be controversial to some people, to me, when religions say that, it's like it goes against the science of energy never dies. You picking up what I'm putting down? Energy never dies. Spirituality, we don't believe in the concept of death. We believe that people energetically, because this body is just a physical uniform, you know what I'm saying? It's like our astronaut suit to survive and live on this earth. But energy never dies, right? It's like the science aligns with the principles of spirituality, and I'm picking up what I'm saying right now, because that just came to my mind. But so just think about that, just think. And I've always been a thinker, always. I had my friends, but at the same time, I was kind of a loner. In my long rant is spirit has our back. Don't be fearful. Be mindful. I'll put it that way. Be mindful. I'm not saying to be a Pollyanna and just like, my head is in the clouds. Everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be all right. Ignore everything. La, 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 la. Be mindful. Listen to your intuition, because that could be spirit talking to you. Listen to that gut feeling that basically people kind of try to discourage you from listening to. So I would say just stay confident, stay fearless, work in love. And another thing, if you feel like you don't have any power, yes, you do. Work in your community. What matters in your community is more closer to home than the decisions that a president will make. And I'm telling this to myself because I need to go back to, volunteering. I volunteered a few times before shit hit the fan and I stopped, So I'm planning on going back into that like this year, and it's the best time of the year to do that, I guess you can say. But the holidays and all that type of stuff, which I believe that should happen year round. And I think it's energy harvesting too, but that's another story for another day. But anyways, it's kind of been long. Don't worry about President Trump. He can be his chaotic self, chaos, confusion, whatever, because that's what it looked like. When you look from the outside in, get away from these politics, step away from politics and just look and see how things were going, use some critical thinking, then you'll be like, it was chaos. It's been chaotic. I would say since 2000, it's been chaotic. Whether it was a Democratic president, whether it was Republican president, chaos. Throwing whatever against the wall to see if it will stick. I guess, praying to their gods and hoping that they can stay in the power that they have, here on earth. Because you think if I have power, you think I'm gonna try to give it up easily? Hell to the no. This is what's going on now. And they knew this. They knew this for centuries. It's hints of prophecies in the Bible. If you look at it more if you look more with a spiritual mind instead of a religious mind. But anyways, that's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna continue to be president of my home, president of my life, president of my young daughter, to make the right decisions for her. And I advise you guys to do the same. Not only that, get into more of your community. You have power more locally than you think. Decision for my family, I'm not going to live in fear to the point that all I'm hearing is fear, scenarios running in my head, instead of looking out, being clear-headed, doing things that I can do now, but working on the defense and working on the offense, as the sports world will say. Because I'm just going to be hopeful about this situation, because I do believe in divine timing. I do believe in that. Spirit going to work however spirit works. And I can go on long. I wish I can go on. I wish I had a lot of subscribers that I feel comfortable enough to go live and talk about this and talk to some different subscribers and answer questions, listen to other people's opinions, and so on and so forth. Please share, subscribe, and like. I'm gonna go ahead and go. I don't want to make this too long, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.